Hello students, welcome back to your biology class. In our previous videos, we discussed about the term respiration, breathing and the difference between breathing and respiration. We also discussed that what mechanism is followed while breathing. Now, today we are going to discuss human respiratory system, its structure and its functioning. So let's start. So, this is the structure showing respiratory system, human respiratory system. Before discussing more about mechanism part, it is very important to know the structure in detail because when once we are able to understand the structure, then only we can understand the mechanism, how all those processes are occurring or where the inhaled air goes further in our respiratory system. So, this is the structure showing respiratory system. First part is nostrils. Nostrils are the two openings which are responsible for inhaling the air. And we know the next part after the nostrils is nasal cavity or nasal chamber or nasal passage. We know the inhaled air after reaching to the nostrils or passing the nostrils, it moves towards nasal cavity. This is the portion nasal cavity, and this one is your buccal cavity. So here we have to discuss only nasal cavity. Nostrils leads to nasal cavity, and in this region there are certain fine hair-like structures called cilia which are responsible for trapping the air or trapping those dust particles from the inhaled air so that purified air moves towards the next region. Afterwards, we have next portion that is pharynx. As we have discussed earlier that pharynx is the region which is common for our digestive tract as well as respiratory tract. So, if this region leads to esophagus, then it becomes digestive system. And if this region leads to our larynx part, then it is respiratory system. So, next part is larynx. Larynx is the voice box, this region. You must have noticed that in males it is this region, some protrude part is there, that is voice box or Adam's apple. In voice box there is Adam's apple. So this region is larynx. Afterwards, next portion is trachea. You know, this whole portion means after nostrils, when the air moves from nostrils to nasal passage, then further towards pharynx, then to the larynx, and this whole portion, this portion is known as trachea. Now, I think you all are able to see here some fine C-shaped, these white colored C-shaped cartilaginous rings. See, trachea, it is surrounded by C-shaped 16 to 20 cartilaginous rings which are responsible for dealing with the pressure, air pressure when we inhale and exhale. You know that when we inhale and exhale, there is some change in pressure. So, to prevent the collapsing of trachea in the variation of pressure, these rings are present. Now next portion is bronchi. Now you can see that this long tube trachea, it is further dividing into two branches. See, this one is divided into two branches, that is first one and second one. See, these two branches are bronchi. Okay. Afterwards, we have bronchioles. Now see, this bronchi, it is leading to some more branches. These branches. And you can see that these branches are further divided into some more branches. It means that trachea, when initially it is divided into bronchi. So we have two bronchi, 1 and 2. We can say that one bronchi for each lungs. Then bronchi are further subdivided into some branches. So we can say that each bronchi is divided into primary, secondary and tertiary bronchioles. These are bronchioles. These branches are bronchioles. And you can say that these bronchioles, when they are further divided, so if there is only one division, it is primary. If more division is there, then secondary, and if some more division is there, then it is tertiary. So primary, secondary and tertiary bronchioles are here. Then you can see that we have two spongy organs called lungs. That is, we can say that main respiratory organ is lungs. Now you can see that there is a double membrane structure. This lungs, these are having some thick wall. These double membranes, these are pleura. So outermost covering of lungs is known as pleura. Okay. Next portion is alveoli. Now, as I told you that after bronchioles, primary, secondary or tertiary, here some balloon like structures are present. Here we have some balloon like structures, although these are visible in the diagram also, but these are very small. So these balloon like structures are known as alveoli. So what are alveoli? Alveoli are the balloon like structures in every lung. These are responsible for exchange of gases. Next portion is diaphragm. As you know that diaphragm, it is the portion which is present below the lungs, and it is responsible for maintaining inhalation and exhalation, as well as it is the region which divides this thoracic cavity and lower one abdominal cavity. So these are the parts of our respiratory system. This is the rib cage, you can see rib cage. Our lungs are surrounded by ribs, and these ribs are responsible for protecting the collapsing of lungs. So I think this diagram is clear to you. Now see, when the inhaled air enters from nostrils, it reaches to the nasal cavity, then pharynx, then larynx, then trachea, then this whole portion is trachea, then bronchi. Now, after moving to this part, it reaches to these bronchioles, and it further reaches to the balloon like structures called alveoli. Now, what happens in these alveoli? These alveoli are richly supplied with blood vessels, means these are surrounded by blood vessels, and what happens? These blood vessels have deoxygenated blood in which oxygen is less and carbon dioxide is more. So due to diffusion process, oxygen from the inhaled air reaches to the blood vessels, so that blood is oxygenated, and carbon dioxide from the blood reaches towards alveoli, and in turn again this air moves through the same pathway but in reverse direction, and now the gas which is moving towards this part is carbon dioxide. So we can say that this one is carbon dioxide. Now, so all these parts which we discussed right now are the parts of our respiratory system, in which we discussed nostrils are the two major openings guarded by hairs, the nasal cavity which possesses some mucus glands also for the trapping of dust particles, then pharynx, that is the junction between nasal cavity and windpipe, then larynx, that is the voice box producing sound, and it has a region that is glottis guarded by epiglottis that we have already discussed in our digestive system, then trachea, that is a part situated from neck to thorax and guarded by 16 to 20 C-shaped cartilaginous rings. Then trachea leads to bronchi, which further leads to bronchioles. So these are the parts which are the divided form of trachea, which further divides to form alveoli. Then lungs are the two spongy organs covered by double membrane called pleura, and alveoli are small balloon-like structures in lungs which increases surface area for exchange of gases. So we can say that main function is performed by the alveoli only. And the last part is diaphragm, that is a dome-shaped sheath of muscles which separate thoracic cavity from abdominal cavity. So in this way we have discussed about the now respiration in plants. See, people often think that respiration in plants is the process of intake of carbon dioxide and release of oxygen. But it doesn't happen. Always respiration process is oxidation or combustion of glucose, and that is occurred in the presence of oxygen, that is we can say that inhaling or intake of oxygen and giving out of carbon dioxide. So the same process occurs in plants also, but it is not as complex as it is in animals. So we have to discuss here only those different ways by which plants respire. So the first way is, you know, that leaves, they have very minute fine pores called stomata, and stomata are the openings guarded by guard cells. So exchange of gas can occur by one of the way stomata present in leaves. Now we have second method. I think that this diagram is showing some small pores in the stem. Also you can see in this diagram that small patches are appeared here in the stem. These are known as lenticels. So the second way by which plants respire is lenticels in stem. As you know that roots are embedded in the soil, and in soil also there are certain air cavities between root hairs and fine soil particles between water molecules or root hairs. So, root hairs are responsible for absorbing water and nutrients as well as air along with those ions, and this air reaches to the other parts of plant. So, third method is general surface of roots.